Bro, Spurs are a fraud. They're a fraud to the top six.
We're a fraud.
You're a fraud. You are a fraud. You are a fraud. I'll tell you why you're a fraud. The top 6 teams in the last 5 years have all won something. Yeah. Spurs are the only team that haven't won anything. The only team. Right. They are a fraud to the top 6, and that's the truth. Arsenal are the top of North London. That is the truth. Our history speaks for itself. That is the truth. Tottenham haven't. Tottenham's been a bigger team. Tottenham hype up everyone beginning of the season, and they do nothing at the end of the season. That's what they do.
Alright, so we're back for part 2 of episode 3. If you remember, these two were getting into it about Arsenal and Spurs power shift. It got a little bit heated. We've got my man Pat over here.
Patrick Tyrant. That's it. Let's go. Let's go.
Jason, he wants to get back into it. So
let's do it.
But like, subscribe, people, and let's get into it.
Right.
So, power shift. I think my personal view now, and I think I've made it clear, is that I do believe that there's a power shift. I do actually think there's a power shift. And the reason why I think there's a power shift is because Spurs now are doing major bits. They are playing better football than Arsenal. They are finishing in the top 4 on a regular basis. They've now stamped their authority on the league as being one of the best teams, and now they're one of the best teams in Europe because they've shown that they can get to a Champions League final. And I think that if it wasn't for them choking, then they could have even won it. But Jason don't agree.
I don't understand how you feel there's a power shift. I really don't. Your club's going through it right now. That's a prime example of a power shift, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how you feel that there's a power shift.
Yeah, no.
Tottenham haven't done anything to warrant that.
With Man United and Man City, the power has shifted. I can't knock that. But the difference is that Man City are winning trophies on a regular basis.
Right.
Yeah?
Exactly.
And they're winning leagues on a regular basis. They're playing the best football on a regular basis. They are the best team. They're the best team, arguably, in the Premier League. So I can't then argue the fact that there's been no power shift.
Okay.
But with Spurs are now higher than you in the Premier League on a regular basis. And it's a regular basis.
Okay.
And the other thing that I want to say about trophies is, yes, winning trophies is everything. And I will still banter them Spurs, man, when they try and chuck it to Man United because they still have yet to win trophies. But what I would acknowledge is that, like what Pat has said regarding the Leicester Cities, your Wigans, you can win a trophy and it be anything. You can win an FA Cup and it's still good to win things, but it can be a little bit anything.
Jay just counted his whole argument, his whole 15 minutes of ranting. He killed himself with his last point about 2008. Tottenham won a trophy in 2008. Arsenal didn't. Could we have argued in that year that there had been a power shift? He turned around and said, no, that's it. So that's the end of the story. So trophies alone.
So the trophies.
So you killed yourself.
No, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent with it.
I just sat there.
You got to be consistent with it. You can't just win one trophy and your job's done. It doesn't work like that. You got to put the work in, bro.
Tottenham are finishing above Arsenal, doing better in Europe, playing better football.
We've won more trophies than you in the last 5 years.
Yeah, but then also you're saying that we need to win a trophy to signify the power shift. So according to you,
it's a start,
we can do all these things and we're way better than Arsenal in every single department, but there's been no power shift because of the trophy. That don't make sense.
Bro, in the last 5, we've won 3, you've won 2. You win one next year, you've won 1.
Yeah.
We still won more than you, bro.
But trophies alone, you can't just look at something from a one-dimensional point of view, and then, you've got to look at things. You got to basically a holistic.
Bro, Spurs are a fraud. They're a fraud to the top 6.
We're a fraud.
You're a fraud. You are a fraud. I'll tell you why you're a fraud. The top 6 teams in the last 5 years have all won something. Yeah. Spurs are the only team that haven't won anything. The only team. They are a fraud to the top 6, and that's the truth. Arsenal are the top of North London. That is the truth. Our history speaks for itself. That is the truth. Tottenham haven't.
Tottenham's been a bigger team.
Tottenham hype up everyone beginning of the season, and they do nothing at the end of the season. That's what they do.
So if we did nothing last year, what did you lot do?
We ain't done. We're in rebuild. You're in the ascendancy right now.
Rebuild. How can you?
You're in the ascendancy right now. You remember that. You need to do something.
Okay, let's.
The jury's out on your team, not mine.
The jury's out on every team.
No, the jury's out on your team.
Every single year, the jury's out on every team. But why is the jury only out on Spurs?
It's on your team because
every team needs to perform and win. Man City cleared up. Man City cleared up.
How long is it going to be
in the English league last year? Yeah, they did a domestic treble. So the jury's out on every team.
Bro,
even Liverpool who won the Champions League still need to perform better in England. The jury's out on every team.
You know what it is?
So how can you say?
No, the jury's out on you guys.
Wait, let me have my piece now. How can you say that Tottenham are fraud? We are. You just said that you're in a rebuilding process.
We are, yeah.
We moved to a new stadium. Yeah. Is that not a rebuilding process? So for the last 2 seasons, we've been playing at Wembley, yeah?
Oh, you've been...
And we still finished above you guys, still finished above Man United, still finished above Liverpool the season before last. So if we're in a rebuilding process and we can still qualify for Champions League football, we didn't buy no players last year because all of our money was pumped into the stadium, and we still finished in the top 4 and got to the Champions League final. How can you call us frauds?
Okay.
All the teams in England.
Because you haven't won anything in the last 5.
We haven't won anything, correct.
So you need to
looking at all the other. Of course, we need to win something. Okay. And even going back to my other, you know, I've said that.
The jury's
out. You cannot call us frauds when we're performing and we're doing bits. So,
but you know what, Pat? How long though, on a real, are we going to keep having this conversation with Spurs?
No. There is no conversation now because we have moved to the stadium.
Yeah,
we've moved to the stadium. We're spending money now. There is no conversation. But you can legitimately say that for the last 2 seasons, we have been in a transition period. All of our money was pumped into the stadium. That was clear because we didn't sign anyone. We couldn't sign anyone. Yeah. Now, our hands are basically untied. We've got money to spend. We're looking at bringing in top players. We're looking at obviously strengthening the team. There are no more excuses. But to call us frauds when even when we were doing all of that, we were still securing Champions League football and having decent runs. We also got to a Carabao Cup semi-final. So it's not like we're out here. And by the way, we knocked you guys out on that one.
Did you win it?
Did you win it? No, we didn't. But to call us frauds, if we're frauds and we're knocking you guys out, what are you lot?
It doesn't really matter.
That don't make sense.
It doesn't really matter. We've won stuff. Yeah,
you've won
the last few years.
Yes, you've won, and it's papered over
in our shit period as well. That's what makes it even worse. In our dead period, we still kept the trophies. This is your golden era.
And you know what?
It's your best time in history.
Arsenal fans love to say all of this, but Arsenal have been a big club from day one. Tottenham haven't. So the fact that you're now comparing yourself to us, we did this, we did that. So you guys should have. You were winning Premier League.
You're North London rivals, bro.
Yeah, correct. But
right, so we are going to compare.
When you look at it and say we're frauds, you guys were up there. Now you're down there.
Every team has their time.
We were down there.
Had it.
Now we're there.
Liverpool had it. Man United had it. Arsenal had it. It happens, bro.
Yeah, it does happen, but also you've got to maintain. You've got to maintain. Because you guys you're saying about stop comparing yourself to Liverpool.
No, it's the truth. It's not comparing. It's what happens, bro.
Man United and Liverpool have never not been in the Champions League for like 4 years in a row. So even in their bad periods, they're still qualifying for Champions League football. Okay. You lot aren't.
Yeah.
This will be 4 years in a row now.
But they've won stuff.
Is it 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
They've won stuff.
It's bad.
But at the end of the day, you could say it's bad not qualifying for the Champions League. Arsenal in a rebuilding process. We've been mismanaged.
What are you rebuilding for?
We've been mismanaged.
What are you rebuilding for?
We've been mismanaged. You can see the finances.
Stadium was built. When you guys moved into the Emirates, we were told now you'll be able to compete at the top level.
Well, obviously it was mismanaged. That was a lie.
What are you rebuilding from? Where's the rebuild?
The old regime, bro. The old regime. That's what we're rebuilding from. Yeah. Okay. We had a manager for Wenger was like
when other teams
well over like 17 years or something like that.
You know what I would say? Another point I wanted to make. Well, not really. I should really let you get into it, but I wanted to. If Arsenal finish above Spurs this year, then what are your thoughts on that with regards to power shifting and everything? If
we don't win anything and Arsenal finish above us, then the power hasn't shifted. The power then remains with Arsenal. But
can the power shift from season to season,
of course
Jay?
It can. Well, I'm not naive enough. Why can't it? I'm not naive enough to say, if you you got to look at the whole picture. I'm an honest fan, and I can say that.
Arsenal are still a bigger club than Tottenham, bro.
But you are though. I've never disputed that. I've never disputed that.
You think so?
Arsenal are a bigger club than Tottenham.
But if you're a player now, if you're a top player in Europe, who would you rather go to at both teams?
I'll let Jason answer that first.
Who would I rather go to?
Not you,
of course, obviously.
Not you personally, but I'm saying if you are a top player now.
Okay.
But you know what? Maybe I'm being a little bit disrespectful to Arsenal in that you've got a good manager, you've got some good players as well. So probably you can still draw some top players.
Of course we can. It's not cool. We can.
You can.
We can, bro.
But you haven't so far.
Well, boy, if Pepe comes, then what?
If a big if.
If he comes.
A big if.
Or if Zaha comes.
You don't actually believe that Pepe or Zaha are coming.
Yeah, well, there's a chance they could do. If that does, then what?
If a big if. Again, I mean, I'm a Tottenham fan, but I also think that I'm quite realistic and quite honest with my opinions, and I try and look at things from both sides. And I think if there's a top player on the table, example Paulo Dybala, let's just say for argument's sake, Griezmann or whoever you want to look at, if they had a choice between Tottenham and Arsenal, both teams are willing to pay them the same amount. Both teams are guaranteeing them first team football. Who would they rather go to right now?
Your team wouldn't guarantee them first team football though, because your team's like Harry Kane's arse.
Just answer the question.
Your team's like Harry Kane's arse.
That's not answering the question.
That's the truth though.
There's more than one spot available. There's 11 spots, yeah? Usually there's 3 or 4 forward positions. So I don't know what that...
Bro, you couldn't guarantee any striker.
Why can't we guarantee a player?
Any central striker, first team football.
Both of them don't play. Both of them aren't central strikers.
Griezmann's like top. He's like
Griezmann can play either position, just like Son can, and so can Dybala. So that doesn't. So yeah, please just answer the question.
What's your question again?
If there's a top European prospect who's up for grabs, Tottenham and Arsenal both in for him. Both can meet the players' wage demands. Both are guaranteeing them the same amount of football. Both are basically guaranteeing them the same amount of game time, etc., etc. Who would the player rather go to now?
It depends, isn't it? Depends.
Jay, please just answer the question. It depends, bro. Stop dancing around it. Just answer it.
But I could use an example of players that chose us over you.
Who?
Well, Saliba did.
No, he didn't.
What? Are you joking? Saliba didn't choose Arsenal over Tottenham.
Basically, we said to them that
you offer better terms, bro.
Yeah, we offer better terms, but we wanted to take the player right now.
Well, you offered better terms.
Yeah, and we wanted to take the player right now. And obviously, the club don't want to do that, so they stuck with you guys. Right. Also, even the Ceballos thing, Dani Ceballos. Obviously, he's a Real Madrid player. You guys. I'm getting bannered. You guys took an L. Ceballos chose Arsenal over Tottenham. We were interested in the player before Arsenal. That's correct, right? But when Real Madrid turned around and said, "Oh, you can take him on loan, pay his wages, you can play him, but at the end of the season, there's no guarantee that you guys can buy him. There's no buyback clause. So essentially, all you're doing is developing our player. Thank you very much, and we're taking back off you." Okay. We said, "No, we're not going to do that."
Okay.
Tottenham are trying to be a big team now. It doesn't make sense for us.
So you have got this guy. You got no buyback clause.
No buyback
clause. But if he helps us get in the Champions League, bro, I'll take that.
Yeah, but then you're also blocking a chance of somebody progressing.
No, not at all. The youngsters will get a chance, bro. They'll get a chance.
And then you develop the player, and then he goes back to the team that that he comes from. That don't really make sense.
Perez was saying there might be a chance. They might talk at the end of the season. So
yeah,
who knows?
Right. So anyway, guys, you had it there. What do you lot think? Leave a comment. Leave your comments, man. The Insta's been blowing up. Bare comments on the Insta. Yeah. If you lot are watching the video on YouTube, though, leave some comments on the YouTube video and let's get some interaction going there. But also keep the Instagram popping as well, because I want to hear your views. Arsenal. It's a big topic. It's an interesting topic. One that I find really interesting. Is Arsenal and Spurs, is there a power shift? Who's the bigger? I know you lot have said it before, but top 4?
Arsenal can do it, man.
I mean, when I say that, do you think Arsenal can finish above Spurs this year?
I don't know about finish above Spurs, but they can definitely make the top 4. It just depends, innit?
Okay. And then there's no point asking you. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I mean, my top 4, I already said it. I think it's quite... The first 3 spaces, I think, are guaranteed.
Yeah. So you lot will finish. What I wanted to get at is you lot will finish above Arsenal, innit?
Yeah.
Who's the top 3?
So. My top 3 is Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and then I change my mind every day between Man United and Chelsea. So it just depends on what I see. That's my top 4.
Well, Spurs and Arsenal fans, United, Liverpool, any of you, what do you lot think? Is there a power shift? We're gonna put this one to bed now. And we're going to come back again.
And I will say I'm not naive enough to say I think the biggest club in London is Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, yeah.
That's by far. So
Chelsea,
people say, but what about Chelsea?
I agree with you on that one.
Chelsea are the biggest club in London.
I agree with you on that one.
They've won Premier Leagues recently. They win a trophy every season. I can't deny it. So, But just to put it out there, but we're
these men are both laying down to Chelsea, boy. Both laying down to Chelsea. Bun Chelsea, man. Bun Chelsea. Everyone's gonna see Chelsea now. Everyone's gonna see Chelsea now. It's gonna come to an end.
20 trophies they won.
Yeah. It's gonna come to an end. They can't keep up this.
They're the most successful team in the Premier League in the last 10 years. Not forget the Man Cities, the Man Uniteds. They're the most successful team.
But then when you say stuff like that, it then kind of counters because we're talking about trophies then. Exactly. So then it does kind of bring back to what Jason's point is about you need to be winning trophies. For me, it's not all about trophies because another topic that I want to get into on one of these podcast shows is if you win the Champions League, are you the top club? Are you the best team in Europe?
We're
not going to get into that now, but that's going to be another one that we're going to get into. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and like I say, please share with your friends, like the video, and press the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And we're going to be back. We're going to come back in part 3 anyway. So bless.